Why hello, and welcome back to another episode of Voice of the Rings. I'm your hosting guide, Zollin Ironshield, and this is a Lord of the Rings LOTRO update today, my friends. I'm very excited, a really big announcement, okay, you guys? Really huge, some big stuff, some stuff I guessed, but I'm very excited about this. So, 3 huge things that I'm going to go over this. I will link this article for you in the description. They also have the video from the Court of the Rings that talked about it, who's one of the team on the Lord of the Rings online team for the game. But there's 3 big things, okay? First thing, let's start with one of the big ones here. They are planning on making a new launcher for the game. This is something that a lot of people have been asking for a long time. So, and I kept saying, they're gonna do it. I know they're gonna do it soon. Well, they're talking about in this, they're going to do it. They're gonna do a launcher because they've just been too many problems because it's an old launcher. So we're gonna get a new launcher. Hopefully that'll fix a lot of problems for some people. That's really exciting. That's one thing. And now let's talk about a couple of the other fun things that were announced, okay? Basically, a new class has been announced. It's the Mariner class. We kind of had hints of this class, but I didn't want to say it until I knew for sure with an update. I've already heard about, some people have talked about it. I've heard rumors of this might be the class they go for. Obviously, if you don't know what a Mariner is, we can look it up if you guys want to know. But it's a type of like ship person that takes care of a ship kind of thing. Here, let's just real quick look. Mariner, a sailor. You don't sailor again. You take care of a ship. You're on a ship. You sail a ship, okay? So again, it's going to be a class probably focused on water. So here are big things, okay? I want to make this real quick for you. Again, don't forget to like and subscribe if you like Lord of the Rings content. All right, guys. Appreciate it. Or leave a comment. What's your favorite thing about these? I'd love to hear it. But the biggest thing is for me is, so we know now also they mentioned they're going to be adding the new region of Umbar in this article. We'll go through it together right now, but I want to give you some of the stuff right off the bat for those who maybe don't want to be here for the whole video, but it's going to be a fast video. Umbar expansion. Again, what was I saying? I was thinking that they might go into the story of helping Aragorn or Elisar, King of Gondor now, and Arwen, the Queen of Gondor, and they might go either south or, you know, east in Narun. I was like debating on what they were going to do, right? We were talking about that. Well, now we know it's Umbar. So I'm excited. So it makes sense to make a new class that's focused on water. What else does this mean? We know we have war mounts in Lord of the Rings Online, but I've been saying for a long time it'd be really cool if they added a boat mount, okay? I've been saying that for a long time. A lot of people are like, oh, it's gonna cause lag. Well, not if they do it correctly. And again, there's gonna be some big lag fixes coming up next week too, by the way. Another big update. So again, all the things that I've been telling you guys for months about, and obviously some have already come to fruition, lots more are coming. This game is growing. It's great. It's a great time to play Lord of the Rings Online. And again, it's a great time to subscribe and join the channel here where I do voiceovers in the game too and stuff. So, so the big updates, new class, the Mariner. We don't know details about it yet. We just know it's going to be a Mariner class, which is a sailor, which means it's got to have maybe it's like, you know, sword buckling or whatever you think of, like sword swashbuckler kind of thing going on. Who knows? Pirate, obviously. They wouldn't put guns in, that would kind of destroy the lore of Lord of the Rings. There's not really anything with guns, so it's probably like a swashbuckler. You know, maybe you have special abilities around water. Who knows? We'll do another video on that in the future, theorizing on that. But so big one is Umbar, a new region, new expansion. I bet you that will be the expansion for level 140 to 145. That's my guess. Or maybe it's a 140 to 150. Maybe it's gonna be a massive expansion. Maybe it's gonna be like, you know, 5-6 regions, huge. I don't know. I don't think they'd add that many at this point. I think it'd be more conservative if they just added like 2 or 3 for a big expansion, kind of like they did with Gundabad area, right? The north. And then, you know, bump it up 5 levels. But we'll see what they do. It's exciting. It's really exciting, right, guys? So again, if it's really exciting for you, you should like the video too. You guys are like, okay, we get it, Zollin. I'm just reminding you. I know, I do that too. I forget to like my favorite subscribers that I watch their videos. So I try to always remind myself too. But yeah, so really exciting, you guys. So the Mariner, that one, and then the client update, and then we're also going to get, they're going to add river hobbits. So let's read through this a little bit and look at a little bit more details for you. I'll read through it again. I'll have it linked in the description right there too. But so that's kind of cool, assuming river hobbits, meaning the hobbits that are on the other side, that are kind of like, here's a little picture they have, that are kind of like on the, you know, where Gollum is from, right? And again, I've always been like, I know technically Gollum is a hobbit, but like I'm still not in the boat that he's fully like exactly the same, because it was such a big time period, and like as they, you know, changed over time, the hobbits. So, but that's, and again, I like how these hobbits look. They look really good. I hope that they stay true to how Tolkien describes most hobbits, but again, there could be a little differences here and there. But it's a little weird if they do too much changing, where it's like, you know, massive amounts of different, you know, racial groups of hobbits, right? Again, I'm fine with it if for customization, right, for your character. It's an MMO. You're supposed to be able to customize your character, so I don't care about that. But again, I hope they hold true to what Tolkien says. Now, again, Tolkien doesn't give exact details on things, so a little leeway here and there is fine. Again, it's an MMO. But LOTRO's pretty good at holding true to Tolkien thing. Again, I've told you this. It's the most true to Tolkien of any video game of Lord of the Rings. It really is. Because I would argue LOTRO is more true to Tolkien than even Peter Jackson's adaptations are, and those are amazing. So, if you're someone who doesn't know about LOTRO, hopefully that gives you a good feeling about LOTRO. It's a really positive. They really love Tolkien. I really love it. So, it's a great game. Thanks so much, you guys. Let's read through this real quick. The Lord of the Rings Online hosted a Q&A with the executive producer, Bob. I always have troubles messing up his name. Severlin. All right, or is it Chi or Si? Line? Say, I can't do it. Where more details about the upcoming expansion set in Umbar, including a new class, as well as when players can expect to see river hobbits make their debut in the MMO. So I wonder if river hobbits will be another race in the game. Now, I think from a monetization point of view, they may make it where you can only get river hobbits with the new expansion. That's what I bet you they'll do, kind of like they did with Brawlers. But as a race, though, right? The river hobbits as a race. So they did it with the Bjornings too in the past. I think that would be fine. I think that's okay. It's how they've always done the game. And they've made the free-to-play system so great now in LOTRO that I feel like they're justified in continuing their normal top stuff, what they do with expansions. So, again, I want the game to last. They need to be able to make money. I get that. I feel like LOTRO is one of the least greedy games I've ever played, as in they care about their players almost to a detriment of the game sometimes. But now they've been balancing it better, so I'm happy. I'm proud of them for that. The Q&A, which has hosted on Twitch and YouTube and arrived on YouTube, saw community manager, again, this person. Let's just go to the information they talk about. The MMO will be seeing a new class, anticipated Umbar expansion. We might open up that link and check that out. Comes this year, named Mariner class. The team mentions it'll be a traditional DPS class. Okay, cool. So with some sort of sea shanty. See, I guessed right. Probably like swashbuckler music system. Oh, there's gonna be a new. One thing LOTRO's always been great at is a really good music system. Oh, that's exciting. This wouldn't be the first class to use music to damage opponents. Oh, interesting. Either as the minstrel used. Oh, interesting. So not maybe a music system as in a damaging system, not like just their music playing system. Wonder if they'll add some new instruments, you know, to the actual music system. That would be cool. I'd be down for that, right? Other changes are coming because we have such great like orchestras and bands that play in the game, like real groups. Other changes are coming to Lord of the Rings Online, especially a teased stat crunch. Okay, this is probably a good thing. Unfortunately, it's gonna be sad when, you know, we had, you know, million HP now. It's gonna probably go down. But again, this is to keep numbers from getting too ridiculous, right? When the next expansion comes out, because honestly, the numbers went up so dramatically from level 130 to 140 that if they do another level up to 150, it's just going to be like, we're going to go from million and a half HP to like, we're going to start going way up. And LOTRO's always done a good job of not going into millions and billions of damage, kind of like, WoW had that trouble until they did stat crunches, right? While some MMOs have seen level crunches or squishes, this would simply bring down numbers across the board, make it clearer to read for players. Obviously, we'll have to wait and see how this affects when it's live, all right? Oh, there's some other pictures here too. Again, The reason they're doing all kinds of backgrounds of hobbits is for customization for players. And again, I have nothing against that, all right? Because I think that's fine, because I think whoever plays LOTRO should be able to roleplay and play the character however they look. That's how I feel about that. Now, from a lore perspective, when you're in the villages, that's where I'm like, if we talked about a little bit with the Gondor region, it's like, it has to be realistic. And the thing is, if we're going to Umbar, there are going to be lots of different races in Umbar that we don't see in Middle Earth, right? So that's totally realistic, right? That'll be totally balanced for the storytelling. Wow, look at how great these look, though. Look at some of these other pictures. Beautiful. It's beautiful art right there. That's really cool. Cool. All right. Images via LOTRO. Crafting changes are coming as well. Another big update. Oh my gosh. There's like so many updates here. Specifically, the work to decouple the professions themselves from various vocations. Been tied to since launch in 2016. However, LOTRO devs admit that crafted gear has been struggling to keep up with the parallel. Yeah, exactly. It has. I mean, it's bad compared to a lot of stuff you get in the things, right? Drops for a while. There will be new pieces of gear to craft when LOTRO update 37 drops, hopefully to make them more meaningful to players overall. That's exciting. Higher level gears probably, right? For those wondering about the regions you might be traveling in during Umbar expansion, I think the name makes one of them obvious. But the Q&A also confirmed Western Gondor will also be introduced in the expansion itself. Okay. I'm assuming Western Gondor being the part that's blanked out in the new part of Gondor. See, well, this is confusing for my people who are watching right now. In LOTRO, they just added the new kings, Gondor Renewed. And Western Gondor's there originally. It's level like 80 area, and then you progress to Mordor. Well, now what they did is that area has been renewed, and we're progressing back through it, so they're going to add Western Gondor with the progressed version, which will be like 140, all right, 145 or something, I would assume. And then we'll go south into Umbar, which will be a brand new location, not just a different dimension, it'll be a brand new location. I think that's what they're trying to say there, so just my guess. The team is also working on a lag that has been plagued the MMO for years. Yes, I told you it's coming. Great. Recently, tweeted out the team had identified 2 sources of big lag in the MMO, and the big lag fix is coming next week. In fact, should make things smoother, especially when running delving. Sweet. Very cool. We got some big lag fixes coming. That's awesome. Also, I hope that they fix it in a way that actually fixes things and give us back some of our animations, like my epic conclusion on my Runekeeper, because I miss that Lord of the Rings Online. Standing Stones, I want my epic conclusion animation back, because the one you gave it is, let's just say horrible. It's so anticlimactic. It's like, buzz, and a little lightning bolt like comes out of your hands. And you're like, what? What happened to my giant lightning bolt that hits the target? And also my freaking fire gourd on my lore master. I know it lagged other people, but here's the thing. Make it where you can turn off the setting visually for just you. So you're the only one that gets lagged. No one else does. Problem solved. You could check out the full Q&A. I know some of you are like, well, you can't always do that. They could do that. I'm pretty psyched about going to Umbar and exploring a lesser seen region of Middle Earth. I am too. This is cool because we're going to go into a region that will basically be we cover a brand new area, right? With rich history and ties to the Numenorians of old. What say you? Again, we're gonna probably see some Numenorians. Maybe we'll get to see some of the twisted Numenorians, or either called the Black Numenorians. And no, it has nothing to do with what color their skin is. That just means they're the turncoats from the Numenorians. And but we will also get lots of other cultures. We'll get the Umbar people. We'll get the people from Harad probably. That'll be really cool to see. I'm excited about all that. That'll be really cool. Again, here's the link to their video too. Again, I will link this in the description. I'm excited, you guys. The new class, the new region, the lag bug, the client fix, the lag up. These are huge updates. These are huge things coming to LOTRO. These are things that people have been wanting for a long time, and now they've hired more people on their team because the game's growing and they can do it. So awesome. And I will see you in the next episode of Voice of the Rings. Thank you so much to my Patreons for their support. Subscribe button's right there if I earned it. You got to the end of the video. Leave a comment and I'll be like, nice job. Up there is the next updates, and over there is LOTRO Taylor do voiceovers in the Lord of the Rings Online. Baruch Kazad, Kuzad menu. Have a great and wonderful day in Middle Earth, my friends, and stay happy. And we have a lot to look forward to. Huge updates. See ya.